Hey guys, it's Tiffany again from Southern Gals Designs. Thank you for stopping by. Today I am going to create a journal cover. So I know when I first started out art journaling, which was not very long ago, I did not have a lot of supplies. I used to scrapbook, so I had a few scrapbook papers in my stash. I had a few pens, and a few acrylic paints just because I dabble in a few other crafts. But I didn't have, per se, a lot of supplies for art journaling. So I wanted to show you kind of how you can not have a lot of supplies but still be able to make a pretty cool and neat art journal. So what you see in front of me is a piece of cardboard. Okay, this came from an Amazon box, I believe. And all I've done to really prep is I took and just peeled a little, because I like this corrugated part of the cardboard here. Layered it with different kind of papers, all kinds of junk mail, little envelope pieces, text from a book, our old recipe thing, a napkin, really all kinds of just stuff you have laying around the house that you can use. So I took that, I collaged it because I like to collage, and then I put I had a little extra paint from another project or something I was working on, and so I just dabbed it on, brushed it on. That's the color that you see. And this also has gesso. I put a light gesso layer. I believe it was the Liquitex Basic, one of the thinner ones. Oops, not the heavy one that I have. I put that on there as well just to kind of give it a good foundation. And so I'm really not sure exactly where I want this. This is going to be a journal cover that I'm creating. And then I also have, I want to show you guys this, manila file folders. I've cut these down to be able to fit inside the journal itself. So these will kind of be my, you know, when you open it up, it'll have file folders that I cut. I got those, like, I think I actually had these. I'm not sure where these came from, but they were recycled. Trust me, they were. I've done a few here just to kind of show you things that you could use. I've actually collaged this and put, this was a sewing pattern that I put over. I put a little gesso on it. This was some leftover stencil stuff that I just dabbed on there because I didn't want to waste it. Just all kinds of just junk stuff that you have around the house. Pattern paper cut up. I tore some, there again, junk mail. Put some gesso on here, a few stamps, did a little doodles. This will probably be inside of this book when I'm through. So that's kind of where we're going today. I have no idea where this may take us as usual, but I hope you stay along for the ride, and let's see where we go from here. So first things first is I'm not really sure which is going to be the back of the cover and which is going to be the cover, so we're just going to go with it. Kind of where my thoughts were is I had thought about creating maybe a few little houses on the front, because this may actually end up being the cover of my travelogue. On YPP, I signed up for a travelogue where your art journal travels from house to house, from different place to place, and one of the ladies fills out a page inside of your journal and kind of, it has a theme. Mine is recycle and repurpose, so I was thinking about doing it with little houses on it since it's going to travel. Not really sure, but we're going to get started with something and we'll just kind of see how it goes. So we need to add some texture and something to this. So I'm going to grab some stencils. Not really sure. I'm just wanting to build up a little texture here. I like that blue. And I'll clean this off probably on the back of this here, because we're going to use that for a journal page or background or something, that I'll use this craft paper that I use as my mat. So it'll go ahead and have that extra little bit of texture. I've got this napkin here. We'll just dab it. I'm going to put it a little bit more down here. I like that pretty blue. That is Dilutions. Oh, well, hello, throw it at me. This is Dilutions London Blue spray that I'm using here. Some of my acrylic paints. And we're going to just play a little bit on different ways that you can create texture with this. But I just squirted out a few different colors, just your everyday cheap craft paint, because that's how I roll with the cheap stuff. Hey, it works pretty good for me, so why? I may get expensive paint one day, but right now I don't see the need for it. So I'm just going to put a little purple on the edge here of this card, and I'm just going to make some lines. Just playing around. Here on the edge. It was calling my name. Okay. And yeah, I have cardboard boxes. I have lots of cardboard boxes. So you could use any kind of cardboard. Did just come off the edge of, I think it was the lid part of an Amazon box. So that's why we're going to use that. Okay, so my battery died and I had to switch over. So I have my big bubble wrap and my small bubble wrap. That's something also that you can use that gives you some really cool texture. And I'm going to use some Liquitex acrylic gesso here, basics. I have some that are, I have some that's actually thicker than that Liquitex, and all I'm doing now is just putting a little bit in my little reservoir over here. Oops, that's a lot. And I'm just gonna paint it on the bubble wrap, and you could dip it or however you want to. This is just my method. I have put it on with my fingers before. I like to get messy. Okay, so now we're just going to doop, doop. I don't know why I always feel the need to do sound effects. And that's going to kind of soften those colors up that we put down from the spray and the bright purple and orange. Kind of tone it down just a little, and also create a little bit of pattern and give a little texture in there. Just random, go around and plop it on there. Alright, so I like that. And of course, if I was smart, I would have brought in the hairdryer. But I did not. So I'm going to step away and go dry this real quick, and then I'll come back.